Greetings. Welcome back. Welcome back indeed. Coffee never tasted so good. It's been so long. Sadly, this was done without coffee, this run here. I must say, very sloppy, very haphazard run for me. A bit aloof, a bit of a space cadet in this one. I blame the coffee, but it could just be me. Who knows? Off the bat, as usual, got two brawlers and a vengeance ship. Once again, the Colossus sector is not here for me, so I can't easily get my vengeance off. Luckily, though, this sector it was just enough to get my hull low enough, so this little sector with like 5 sentinels and guardians, I guess that's a good backup plan. It's not always there, and it might not always be in an opportune spot, but a contingency plan. So, off the bat, really good spawn here, kind of. Both are within, or both level 9 planets are within my teleport range, so an easy way to knock out the storms without much hassle. And yeah, this was a strong start. However, one issue was that they are very far from each other. And because I play like this, like I zoom in like this much, because, I'm on mobile, I play on mobile, so that I have a hard time tapping on certain things when I'm zoomed out this far. So yeah, but off the bat, I forgot to mention that. I got hit with some rockets on one. So this one over here knocked it out pretty easily. However, over here, because I was trying to make sure that this ship wasn't going to randomly trigger vengeance on these guys, I went towards this storm, and then I moved back. That's something I tend to do, just so I don't have to look back here as much. Even though the storm is under suspend, I just want to make sure that I won't have to chase it any more than I do. However, the rockets are right there. Now, I knew there were rockets on the way. I just didn't know that they were that close. But I didn't see this initially. So I waypointed back and then looked over here to make sure that this one was still on its target. And I checked back around this time and I was like, where's my shield? It's a bit tough. Also, because of the whole distance between the planets, had a hard time getting that vengeance off. Although, yeah, the sector, perfect. These two spawned, I swear, opposite side of the sector. Although, luckily, yeah, this path looked like it was perfect to get both of them. So I did that. Went up here. I wanted to do, that whole thing I did with sitting on top of the Phoenix. I haven't really been doing that. Usually I would be chasing a storm and then get distracted with the destroyers, and my battleship would be like on the other side of the sector. The Sentinels and Guardians will move towards me and they'll die. But the Phoenix doesn't turn on until like 40 seconds after it spawns, so. In other words, up here I should not be on the Phoenix because my shield is low, but down here I should have been on the Phoenix, and I mean I was, but I wasn't hitting it initially, and the rockets were right there. Yeah, I caught that just in time because I was trying to look over there. Yeah, I could have just EMP'd the rockets, but again, a bit aloof, just sort of doing things. in an odd way. That was a beautiful vengeance there, sir, but I'm afraid I did not use repair drone. I forgot to use repair drone. I forgot to look over here and actually use repair drone. I was, you know, getting bamboozled and flabbergasted by having to split my focus between the opposite side of the star, but yeah, got enough repair there, teleported back. Just retreat, it's fine. I wanted to try and kill this thing, but the rockets were like kind of lopsided. In the distance between these two rockets, I don't know if I could get all four of them within EMP range. So I decided to just back out and deal with that another time. The the double Phoenix next door, not a good time. And teleported here. Luckily, I realized that there was a guardian. I didn't see that guardian. I happened to throw a repair drone just in time. Although I don't think the guardian would have killed me. Actually, it might have. I'm not too sure on that. I let the rocket, the neutralized splash damage from the rockets actually kill it. That is something you can do with repair drone, but the timing is really tricky depending on how much DPS your MassBat does. So, but yeah, a bit rough here. And I believe at this point I wasn't on top of things as much as I should have been. Like, I need to get this ship down there too. Time's a waste. And now I did peek at these two planets here, and yeah, I mean, there's a couple of transport arts that I'd want. So, but I knew that this was about an average amount of time, so I wasn't in a rush, per se. But I knew that I couldn't just dilly dally. Now, however, speaking of the artifacts, I didn't notice until later on that the arts on these planets are really good. Like, good lord. Invader Zim planet. Yeah. You see, had I known that, I would have rushed a bit more. I didn't check the planets, so that's my bad, I suppose. But yeah, so knocked everything out. Let the civilians civilize, as it were. Yeah, you see, taking a second to actually do things. Just spacing out a little bit. It's all right. It's fine, as long as there's progress, That is the name of the game. So I move this up here just to start getting these bombers shooting at me. And, just to start working on over here while these are loading down here. Pretty easy this time. I just EMP'd them so I could look back, and check on other things, move some ships around, and then move before the EMP expired. So yeah, simple double bomber takedown there. Gonna let the transports, just before they get into that interceptor. Now, however, I did not see this other interceptor because I was up here. Yeah, I walked into that Phoenix that was nearly dead. You suspend. Had a bad time with the Sentinels there. My MassBat kind of locked on to the Guardians for some reason, but yeah, but interceptor right over my transports. I did not see that. And as luck would have it, as luck would have it, and guess who shows up again? Another interceptor. Yeah, you see, I wasn't comfortable with that, like at all. The interceptor jump gate is a minute long, and loading an artifact is a minute long, and I happened to load the last one right when that showed up. So I was not too comfortable, like, with the timing there. Like, usually I wouldn't mind because, it does take a second for the interceptors to start to start shooting. But yeah, it would be better safe than down the hole, like, nearly a mil. So yeah, I just let that take care of that. Jump a battleship over here. Yeah, had a hard time. Even with suspend, a bunch of guardians and a colossus and a phoenix can still tear through a regen shield, level 12. Yeah, and also, I just noticed my vengeance was back up. My vengeance was up for quite a while, but dancing with all the interceptors and loading and dealing with all this nonsense over here kind of made me forget. But I decided to just move it over just so it's in position while I had the chance to. So that's two sectors. Yeah, I messed up there. I was trying to teleport out before the Phoenix died. Just because the repair drone over here was on cooldown, and I didn't want to lose that much hull on these signals. I practically lost it all, so yeah, not a good time, but again, you can always recuperate. Although at this moment, I did notice how good the artifacts were, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get going here." I jumped in the middle as usual. Get a repair drone. I moved just so I could kill the bomber. Really, that's like the main priority for that. Knock out the bomber. And yeah, left the sector, and now this ship is free to be on civilian defense because that's all it's good for after its second vengeance goes off. So yeah, but oh wow, it took me a second to realize the enrich was off cooldown there. Yeah, I was like, oh man, very sloppy, very all over the place today. Yeah, another interceptor. Andreas is a very, very funny person. Very funny, hilarious, even. Another interceptor there. Yeah, this is why I tend to knock out random interceptors if I have the chance, even if it's going to take some time, because they can be an issue. Yeah. So walked over there. The interceptor just triggered the stealth on that one. Just why? Why, Andreas? Finally decided to actually teleport over here. I could have done this like much earlier because suspend with the storms and the phoenix half dead would have killed it without me having to pay attention. Don't know why I didn't do that sooner. Yeah, and once again, interceptors. This one stealth was on cooldown. Was not too sure if that was in range. It looks like it might not be, but again, better safe than sorry. Oh man, never have I had such a hard time with the interceptors, dancing around them. And they're supposed to be random, Move this ship over just because I knew it was going to take me a second to actually deal with all this nonsense over here. So yeah, loading in solo is still a challenge for me. I can kill things easy, no big deal. I can defend civilian ships easily, no big deal. But loading in a optimal order and fashion still needs some work. Especially since I haven't a bigger artifact boost, so it takes even longer to art boost everything. Yeah, I'm going to need some practice on that front, but oh well. So yeah, I walked up here, started knocking out that bomber finally, and start clearing a path for the civilian ships, get the last two artifacts over here, the transport and minor artifacts that are over here. Use repair drone to heal up there. Walked over here. Now, these two ships that were carrying like the good arts, I could have picked up these two combat arts because I was going to extend anyway. I could spend 1 to pick up 2, but I didn't think that far ahead. But well. I believe I had to extend for the miners, but looking at it, the miners would have been just on time. Probably didn't see that, but yeah, very rough run there. A lot of split attention, as it were, going between these far out sectors, and then all the interceptors that were just spawning in the most opportune places. But yeah, I kind of blame this over here because I was focused on this a bit more than I should have been. But it is good to know now that that filler sector that tends to always spawn next to the star itself is just enough if so long as my mass pad isn't hitting 3 guardians and sentinels are nearby, just enough to get my hull low enough. So, in other words, still learning, still improving. I hope, kind of. But yeah, that is all. That is all. I'll see you around. Gotta finish this coffee. Ta ta for now.